Hey there, Scott PDX. Time to go on a little motorcycle adventure. Hello everybody, this is Scott PDX. It's June 7th, Thursday. I'm in my Chevy, got my dirt bike on the back, and I'm heading up to Tillamook State Forest to do a little riding. I've got a buddy that's got a rally event route that he wants to do something with. I'm not sure what, but he provided the route to me and thought I'd go up here and just do a little morning ride and get a little exercise and work out in the woods a little bit. So got my KTM 300 XCW. I'm gonna go for a little dirt bike ride. Won't you come along? See ya. Alright, made it here to Rogers Camp. Let me give you a little tour. So Rogers Camp is strictly a staging area for OHV riders. Okay, right at this point, I discovered that my GoPro microphone was unplugged. Oh, the wonders of using GoPro. So I love the GoPro video quality, but I've had troubles with the microphone hookup before, and this is just another example of that. But for the most part, you saw Luke back there. Luke programmed this route based on his knowledge of what's going on up there, and he programmed the actual tracks on a physical map, and then we were going to go up and just kind of test these tracks on the ground and see what it looked like. Some of the turns are a little hard to find, like this one right here. He had some real adventurous little sections here that was a lot of fun. It's kind of neat to see on the ground how things actually turn out when you plan them beforehand. So it was all in all a very good route that he did, and I appreciate the work and sharing that he did. You're going to see a few places I make some wrong turns here, because it's always a little hard when you're looking at a GPS and you come to a fork. It's not always clear which way is the correct route and which one is not the way you want to go. So there was a little bit of turning around that we had to do, but that's normal. For the most part, the trails are in pretty good shape. You can see a lot of loose rock here. I did make one wrong turn here. This is back to back, which the upper portion of here is a kind of a legendary hill climb. This lower portion is just rockier than heck, and it doesn't show it very, very well, but it's very steep. I almost hit that log to the left, and boom, I go down. That gives you a better idea of the angle there. I don't know what that is, 30 degrees or something like that. But I got her up, turned around, and then worked my way back down the hill. You can see Luke there in the distance waiting for me patiently. He did walk up to help me get her turned around. It was kind of a narrow trail, but by the time I got it up before he was able to get there. So no harm, no foul. That's just part of riding. The rocky conditions on some of those hill climbs made it a little tougher. So here we are, just part of his route was just cruising along on the forest roads in Tillamook State Forest. You've got to go on the roads a little bit just to connect the trails, but it's just a beautiful day. You can see some of the wildflowers in bloom. Looks like I missed another turn. Hi, Luke. It happens. No big deal. So we'll get back on track again and see what happens next here. You got to be careful on these roads. You can run into a lot of two-way traffic. Some of the turns that Luke had were a little bit more hidden, so I'm looking at the GPS here, trying to figure out, okay, well, what's a trail and what's not. And so this is one of the trails that he had. So we'll go up this one a little bit. You can see that, you know, there's a little rocky, a little loose rocks. You know, when there's a little bit of moisture, those rocks tend to be a little bit more set in, but when things are so dry, they just kind of roll around a little bit. But again, you know, that's part of the fun of being up here and riding. Okay, a lot of times people ask me, why do I have a mirror? And that's why, so I can look on the mirror and see one of my videos recording or not. And here I'm just trying to find, is this the right trail? Again, following the tracks on the GPS, it's not always exactly clear. He had some nice trails in here though. About half the, probably 3/4 of the route that he had programmed here was all trails, just with the minimal road connections that are required to get you to the next spot. I'm going to speed up a little bit here just so you can see some of the terrain here. This was an old clear-cut area that's growing back. You know, Tillamook State Forest is a working forest. Portions of it get cut and trails get rerouted and they grow up again, and we go on. Hey folks, welcome back. So I'm about 38 miles into this ride. It's a pretty good route that Luke has laid out here. It's intermediate, but there's definitely some challenging points on it, or at least challenging for me. Luke rode with me for a couple hours. Look at this. I know it doesn't show very well on the camera, but that is probably a 30-degree rock crawler boulder thing. I mean, there's no getting motorcycles up this. Well, I mean, this part's not bad. But you got some Jersey barriers out there thrown in, and some ledges, all kinds of nasty stuff. However, there's a workaround over there that I came around. I think Luke calls this Airplane Hill. I don't know if that's an official name, or that's just the name people give it. But it's been a great ride, you know. This is Tillamook State Forest, and it's beautiful. You know, June 7th, it's I'd say it's probably 60 degrees right now. When you're riding hard on these trails, it always feels hotter. It feels like 80 degrees, but I'm hanging in there. Good ride, you know, it was nice. I kind of ran out of gas and steam later on in that ride. The gas mileage on that 300 is absolutely shit. I put a new tank on it. I got the Service 3.1 gallon tank, and my freaking I had to go to reserve at like 46 miles. I'm guessing, you know, that was at least 2 gallons, probably 2.5, but even at 2 gallons of 46, that's 23 miles to the gallon. That's freaking horrible. So anyways, I'm glad I got the 3.1. The route that I was supposed to do was 51 miles, but once I went on reserve, and I headed back towards the car because I didn't want to run out of gas. So didn't do the whole route that I wanted to do, but I did a lot of it. I ran into Luke out there and rode with him for a bit and caught up with his life, so that's good. Oh, and I feel like my skills are growing a little bit. Each time I go out, I learn something new about dirt bike riding and having a good time. So had a great ride today. I'm pretty tired, pretty beat, but that's good. I can certainly use the workout. Saw a couple of deer. It's always fun to see a couple of deer. Saw one deer with a little fawn. Unfortunately, the mama and the fawn took off the trail in a different direction, so we stopped for a while to let them regroup, you know, give them 15 minutes to get back together. Never saw either one of them once they jumped off the trail. At least they jumped off on the same side of the trail. But I try to do that when I spook a little baby deer, you know, give them time to get back together with mama. So anyways, I had a great ride. You know, look at this out here. Isn't this just beautiful? I mean, Oregon this time of year, it's really nice. You know, everything's nice and green. There were some spots on that trail today that were just absolutely beautiful. Just ferns and beautiful green areas. I didn't spend a lot of time taking pictures. You know, if I'm riding with somebody else, I tend not to do very many pictures, but I did do quite a bit of GoProing. So hopefully I'll put a video together. Probably not going to be that great. Most of my videos kind of suck lately, but I'm trying. I need to get out there and really just be dedicated to making a film, as opposed to dedicated to riding and then do a little bit of filming on the side. That just doesn't work nearly as well. But you know, life's not all about one thing or another. It's about getting out there and having a good time and living it. So I did a little bit of that today. So heading back to Portland. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. It was a great day, and we'll catch you later. So Scott DDX out.